The sound of the bell faded away into silence. It's 10 o'clock then. Ace said what each one of them had been thinking. That means it had been an hour since Zero's little announcement. Seven's deep voice echoed across the room. Fuck! I've had enough of this crap! Santa leapt to his feet, his fists clenched. How long are we gonna pussyfoot around like this? We've only got 8 hours until this time limit Zero was going on about is up. Let's get going already. Go! Go! That's what I was thinking, actually. Just been standing around here talking for an hour and blowing up. Santa's outburst fell on deaf ears. No one seemed to agree with him. What? Come on, you're not going to make it out of there on your own like this. They stared back at him, their eyes blank and their faces tired. Finally, Lotus spoke. No, I refuse. Oh, God, she's really going to be no help. I'm not going to end up like him. Him? You mean the ninth man? Of course. Who else? Calm down. In his mind's eye, Junpei saw the corpse again. The dark, reddish-black pool of blood. The scattered pieces of flesh. Organs strewn across the floor like the blossoming of a grotesque flower. The explosion that had torn through his body had been powerful. The ninth man's neck had been twisted at an odd angle. Junpei suspected that the detonation had thrown him against the wall. Half his face was crushed, and the other half was covered in blood. Most of his abdomen had been emptied, either by the explosion or by gravity. He had landed on his back, and stark white ribs jutted up out of his chest, like the legs of some sort of macabre crab. Junpei felt something flip in his stomach. I think he just screwed up. Eyebrows went up, and Santa continued. He probably set up some sort of trap, and that killed him. I'm not gonna screw up like that. I'm getting out of here alive. Hehehe. Ha 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 ha. Whatever Snake was laughing at, Santa did not find particularly humorous. What's so goddamn funny? Oh, my apologies. You were just so very confident. I couldn't help myself. What the fuck? I think you've mistaken the situation. Huh? The ninth man's death. It had nothing to do with a trap, or at least not the sort of trap you imagine it did. Then, he broke one of Zero's rules. That was why he died. Quite simple if you think about it. Is it he used the other people to go through the door, and then he went through on his own? Something like that? You still don't? Alright. How about you take a moment and think back to what Zero said? Specifically, what did he say about the number of people? Ah, only 3 to 5 people can pass through one number door. So it had to be at least 3 people? Right. And after that, you've forgotten the relevant part. What did Zero say? Santa furrowed his brow in thought. Junpei thought back. Zero said that only 2 people can go through, that everyone who was verified had to go through. More than 6 people. I think it's that everyone who verified had to go. Only 2 people can go through it. No, because it says 3 to 5. I'm gonna go with that everyone who verified had to go. All those who enter must leave, and all who enter must contribute. Right? I think it was something like that. Whatever it was, it means that groups of less than 3 or more than 5 can't go through. That is correct. Oh yeah, a gold star for you, Junpei. Ha, thank you. Snake inclined his head towards Junpei. The ninth man, however, broke that rule. He tried to pass through a numbered door by himself. That was why he was executed. Then Zero's watching us from somewhere, making sure we don't break any rules. Oh, I'm not so sure of that. Why not? Because this execution system is entirely automatic. You didn't notice? There's no need for him to monitor us. What do you mean? Snake looked at Seven with what could only be described as pity and sighed. Very well. How does he see him then? I thought he was blind. I see it must be me who tells you. I've waited long enough, I suppose. I'd hoped Zero might spare me the trouble, but that seems increasingly unlikely. He couldn't see them, of course, but perhaps Snake sensed the confused eyes upon him. When Ace spoke, he gave words to everyone else's thoughts. Do you know something? Well, I know a great many things, but yes. What is it you know? Here. Snake removed a card from the pocket of his jacket. With a flourish, he presented it to Ace, who took a close look at it and spoke. Come on now, what's the point in giving me this? Give me that! Santa snatched the card from Ace, but his expression of disgust quickly turned to one of confusion. Huh? The hell is this? Seven tugged it out of Santa's hands. Heh, I see. The card went from Seven to Lotus, from Lotus to June, and finally to Junpei. He looked at it and understood. This is Braille. Braille, the written language of the blind. The card was covered with small, embossed bumps. Junpei could recognize it, but he certainly couldn't read it. Sorry guys, I can't read this. Junpei handed the card back to Snake, who nodded at him with a small smirk. Okay, that was fun. What's so important about that card? I found it in my pocket. I can only assume it is a message from Zero. From Zero? A message? Didn't we all get a message in our pockets, though? Sure, he's not just trying to, he's raising everyone's hopes, thinking, oh, he's got a secret message, but it's not. It's just the one he gave to us, but in Braille. What does it say? Suddenly, everyone was crowding around Snake, desperate to hear what the message said. Santa especially looked as if he were about to grab hold of Snake and shake the answers from him. Snake raised his hand. Calm down now. No need to panic. You don't need to force me. I'll read it. Junpei swallowed hard and waited for him to start. He was not the only one. Presently, Snake began to read, his voice calm. Sorry. Excuse me. His fingers glided over the tiny bumps as he spoke. Bracelet number 2. Since you are not blessed with sight, I shall bless you, and only you, with information. I shall tell you of the function of the red, of the dead, and of the bracelet. The red is the recognition device. It will verify your number. Beside every number door you will find a red. The dead is the deactivation device. It does exactly what it says. Once you have passed through the number door, you must use the dead to stop the detonator in your bracelet. Okay, so it's like a trap that you can only stop if you've got one of the numbers. Once you pass through the number door, you must use the dead to stop the detonator. Oh, so it was detonator that blew up, it wasn't a trap. Kind of like Battle Royale with their collars. But perhaps you're wondering, what does this detonator detonate? I'm afraid this may be something of a surprise. I have placed a small bomb inside of you and the people whom you are about to meet. Oh, it's inside of us. Oh. Damn. You swallowed it while you were unconscious. I have no doubt that by the time you read this note, the bomb will have passed your stomach and found its way to your small intestine. In other words, you will be unable to regurgitate it. I suggest you do not try. As I mentioned before, the bracelet on your left hand contains a detonator. Think of it as a remote fuse or timer for the bomb in your body. There's only one condition which will cause it to detonate. That condition is that you enter a numbered door. Once you have done so, the timer will activate, no matter who you may be. You will have 81 seconds. If, after that time, the detonator has not been deactivated, it will send a signal to the bomb in your body, instructing it to explode. In order to deactivate the detonator, every person who verified their number at the red must also verify their numbers at the dead. Okay. Once all numbers have been verified by the dead, you need only pull the lever. Oh, sorry. Anyone who has not verified the number at the red will find themselves unable to verify the number at the dead. That is to say, if you should pass through a number door without first verifying your number at the red, in 81 seconds you will be dead. You must also keep in mind that the numbered doors will close automatically after 9 seconds have passed. So long as the door is open, the dead will not function. You would do well to remember this. Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets. There are only 2 ways to do so. 1. You escape from the ship. 2. Your heart rate reaches 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship, or detects that its wearer's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically. There is no other way to remove your bracelet. Very good. Long day. If you attempt to force it off or disable the detonator, the